But seriously, what is happening to the Australia where government's just left Australians alone? I mean, you could go to the football, for instance, and that's what you got. Just football. Instead, today, we find the Prime Minister has personally helped to convince our top 7 sports codes, including the AFL and the NRL, to back his voice, as if this is going to finally fix things by forcing the government to listen more to Aboriginal activists. Now, one issue in this is the damn nagging. When did football clubs become experts in morality and politics, and particularly race politics? When did they decide that their job was not to listen to the fans, but to lecture them? Guide me, O thou great McLaughlin. Peter Flanders, master, tell me the way. They're lecturing. It's so arrogant. If these sports bosses were Jesus Christ in their spare time, I might think, well, yep, these footy bosses or these tennis bosses, boy, I really do need their guidance on race issues. But with all the scandals they've got, stick to the footy, guys. But the Prime Minister, when does he get back to doing some real work instead of this pie in the sky with the voice? Because let me tell you, the bush is burning. How can so many politicians and activists and journalists spend endless months and years pushing Labor's voice when the bush is burning? Signs of near total dysfunction in so many Aboriginal communities. Yet in the big cities, white activists and the Aboriginal aristocracy, or people identifying as Aboriginal, they're pretending that the real issue is this voice, a kind of Aboriginal-only parliament to give more jobs and power to that black elite. Day after day, month after month, now the sporting codes, the voice, the voice, the voice. Like it's some crusade, except the goal seems to be to make themselves look good and not to actually do any good. The voice will fix things, you know, forcing whites to listen to black activists under our constitution. That will fix things. I want to know what all those black activists and the Prime Minister are doing right now about the bush is burning. What have they said? What have they done? Close to a flat nothing. The giant game of let's pretend. Let's pretend the problem really is just Steph White. Let's not look to what's really going on. I tell you, the smoke is everywhere. Let me now take you on a tour, starting with Alice Springs, although this goes way beyond that. How will the voice fix that violence there? And where are all the black activists with their ideas now? How will the voice fix parents in Utopia whose child is up to 260 kilometres away walking the streets of Alice Springs after midnight, as reporters of the Daily Telegraph found?
Where are you from?
Utopia.
And how did you get here?
Push bus.
Push bus? But where are your parents now? At home?
How old are you girls?
14.
14. And you? 15. And you're out on the streets on your own? You're not scared? Do you ever stay out till the morning? Yeah.
And how will the voice fix children who are so accustomed to violence that 5 girls last week launched this unprovoked attack on an Alice Springs student and even injured the teacher trying to protect her? And while others bashed another student and menaced him with an axe. And this racism excuse that activists in the ABC keep using is so pathetic. But worse, it's now being repeated by children to legitimise what they're doing. Again, this is from the Daily Telegraph's brilliant Cry from the Heart video.
We got reason the thing run amok in this town that they want to act smart for us and be racist.
You think you feel like they're being racist to you?
Yeah, that's why we do bad things too.
I mean, it's so devastating. The breakdown of authority, the authority of parents, of police, of teachers, or just the moral order. Where are the voice activists with their ideas? I mean, stop the voice around some Canberra table. Show us you know what to do now by fixing this. Just go out there. And it's not just Alice Springs. In Amungana, near Alice Springs, same story. Breakdown of authority, of parental responsibility.
What have you seen and heard?
Alcohol, violent, kids are getting traumatized on seeing how parents fighting and it scares them.
Kids are running amok like they got no parents to control them.
Your voice won't fix that. You go further south. to Uluru, Ayers Rock, where this tourism cafe was smashed and robbed last Sunday. Or look north at Tennant Creek on the road to Darwin, where back in 2018 there was a horrific crime, even the rape of a 2-year-old. Or go across the Mount Isa, Queensland. Children now stealing and smashing cars there. Hundreds of Aborigines now turning up from out of town for alcohol, needed to be fed by volunteers.
These are people, they're getting taken advantage of in the fact that they have, chronic addictions, and they're coming here really just to access alcohol. Where the bus is dropping them off, there is an agency there that serves 3 meals a day. And they've gone from, a few years ago serving, up to 50 meals, people coming in from dry communities. Last year it was around 200, 150, 200. And then it feels like overnight it was 569 the other Friday that they served for breakfast. So the numbers are coming in very big and fast. And, we've got local people here who've lived here all their lives now saying, I don't know if this is where I want to live anymore. I don't feel safe.
Let's go back to the Territory, to Catherine. In November last year, kids stealing cars from an Aboriginal organisation and ramming 2 police cars with them. Or Yuendamu, where violence between clans is so bad that at times the health centre there has had to be closed for safety. Or up north, Wadare, more tribal violence, houses burned last year, a man killed in fighting I can't show you clearly for legal reasons. How about Queensland? Arakan, up in Cape York, Noel Pearson's territory, where there's been so much violence, including attacks on a police vehicle last year, a policewoman injured. I could go on and on. The horrific number of Aboriginal women hospitalised by domestic violence. The terrible number of Aboriginal children needing rescue from their families. There's been a willful looking away from all this for decades now. There's even, laws. The problems I get putting this stuff to air. Don't go on about this too long on TV because you could cause offence. Be careful what you say about Aboriginal culture. And plus then, you're racist or you're hard-hearted. But what about the children? I mean, generations now of Aboriginal children in some places having their future stolen from them. Left to wander country towns at dawn, stealing or smashing and thinking, well, racism made me do it. While in the cities, our white elites and our footy bosses and the black aristocracy, yes, the voice, force whites to hear and obey the black activists and the professors and the race baiters who don't have the answers. They don't. Most don't have any clue and they're not making an effort. Just look, the bush is burning. And what do? What do they say about what I've just shown you? Silence.